Hello and welcome as we roll the dice on another episode of... Hang on. A Problem Squared. Oh, excellent. Okay. My name is Matt Parker, mathematician and dice roller, and I'm joined by Beck Hill. There you go. A comedian and TV presenter.
That's the piddliest dice for me.
For the listeners, I got out an extra dice and rolled it just for Beck.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. It's the attention to detail.
What would you have gotten if you'd rolled a different answer?
It'd be a very different show.
No,
this was the number of your names I was going to say, and I rolled 2, so that worked out really well.
Joined by Dwayne the Jock Ronson.
Yeah.
Not even Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
They're waiting us. No, the home brand version.
It's the tribute act.
Yeah. They're waiting in the hallway. I should tell them that they're not needed.
Yeah, Dwayne the Jock Ronson is a Scottish tribute.
A real strong guy.
Yeah, well, tell him to go home. I'm hosting.
Exactly. Well,
the dice
roll
have
of the
spoken.
Dice. On this episode,
Snake Eyes. I've been having a right old time with time signatures.
I've got an unusual problem that we're going to solve together.
Oh no.
It's not good.
Any other business? Ness. There's another dice there that just said ness.
Yep, sorry, I'm rolling 4 now. So Beck, how have you been keeping?
I'm not getting much sleep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So as old time listeners, I meant or long time.
Or long timey listeners.
Long time listeners will know that I have a lounge because
You have a lounge.
we put our lounge room and bedroom together during lockdown because I was doing more work from home and I needed an office. So we turned
a boffice.
a boffice. So we turned our old bedroom into a boffice.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a lot more goes on in there.
It does, yeah. Sorry, you turned the boffice into an office.
The downside of that meant that because we have a very large enclosure for our hamster, because they're meant to be minimum 1 meter by 50 centimeters.
It's a big old space.
Yeah. And it doesn't fit in the boffice. It is in the lounge.
And you never strive just for the minimum requirements in any scenario.
And we recently got a new hamster called Peanut. And Peanut is very little and very active.
And you were saying that, this is a chat we had before we started recording, where I was having just a general Peanut catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And you were giving me a size comparison between Peanut and Pudding.
Yeah.
And long-time listeners will remember the previous hamster, Pudding.
Yes. Yeah. And Pudding, I mean, they're both dwarf hamsters, so they don't get that big anyway. No. But we thought that they were the same size, but then we saw Peanut. We make these little food puzzle balls. Imagine a rubber band ball, but hollow.
Yeah.
I hide a couple of treats in little pellets and things and then put it all together.
I get it.
Pop it in the enclosure. And because it rolls, he spends a good hour or so pushing it around the cage trying to
get the food out.
Yeah. When we'd made them for Pudding, it'd be like a hamster with a fairly large football sort of size.
Okay, yep.
But Peanut is so small. It's like the size of Peanut.
Oh, right. Okay.
So when he tries to grab it and flip over on his back, it's adorable. It's very cute. So yeah, he's very small and very, very active and runs around in his little wheels a lot. Well, they're big wheels.
Yep.
And it's been keeping me awake.
Oh, you're not up all night making puzzle balls?
No. I just the sound of something running around in a wheel all night.
That's fair enough. That is a distracting noise because everyone sleeps in the lounge.
Not everyone, not neighbours.
No, but the whole household is in the lounge.
My husband and I sleep in the lounge. Yes.
And Peanut sleeps in the
Peanut
lounge.
But Peanut sleeps during the day. And the thing is, I'm quite good with white noise. I even play white noise on my phone because I have a little bit of the old tinnitus. And so I like to have something on because otherwise I can just hear ringing all the time. And so I don't mind the sound of the wheel turning, but it's not constant. It's aperiodical. I
Oh,
think you'll
nice.
find.
Hey, wow. Someone's paying attention.
If it was a tile,
Oh,
a specific t-shirt shaped tile, and it is very distracting. And then what will happen, of course, is I'll get used to it, and then when he stops, I become convinced that it stopped because he's run so fast, he's flipped his way across
no.
the cage and hurt
It's like
himself.
stuck.
It's never the case. But yes, I keep waking up either because he started running or he stopped
We'll
running.
stop running. Yeah,
Yeah, people with children, I understand.
it,
I
you
get
get it.
it. I get it. You know, and it's basically the same.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you've been attending those groups.
Yeah. I've got a friend who's about to meet her adopted daughter that
Oh.
she's been approved for, her and
Wow.
her husband, and it's been very hard not to go. Yeah, I understand.
We picked up
She's got to
Peanut
be like,
recently.
you absolutely do not get out of my life. How about you? What have you been up to?
Oh, I made a shape. End of story. That's the whole.
Nah, I don't want to brag, but I make shapes every day.
Yeah. Ooh. Throw them. So a friend of mine is running a collaborative maths art project
Hmm.
in New Jersey, in Rutgers University. And what they're doing is getting people to send in shapes. So people make a shape and
Yeah.
they send the shape in.
Mhm.
And then they've got a massive like wire frame, which is like, a couple meters in each direction.
Mhm.
And they're going to hang everyone's shapes inside the frame. So it'll be suspended somewhere in this massive,
Oh, cool.
not a box, but it's like just
A Faraday cage.
like a Faraday, yeah. And they're going to suspend them in specific locations.
Mhm.
What they're going to do, and I forget which axis is which, but it's something like the distance, like in one direction will be the number of faces that your shape has, and the distance in another direction will be the number of edges, and the distance in the third
Ah.
direction is the number of vertices. And so the 3D coordinates where they hang your shape is based on the properties of your shape. But what's particularly clever about this project is there is a mathematical relationship between the number of faces, the number of vertices, the number of edges on a shape. So if you take the number of vertices
Mhm.
and subtract the number of edges and then add the number of faces, you always get a value of 2 for all shapes. I don't know how well you remember my show Humble Pie,
Yes.
where I complained bitterly about the inaccurate football signs in the
Yes.
UK.
Yep.
The whole section is devoted to me getting very upset.
I've not
because
only seen that show multiple
you
times
have.
and read your book and seen you do that bit
Oh,
on
and
various occasions.
yeah.
Do you know what? I still enjoy it. I still enjoy
Still
it.
getting angry about street signs.
Yeah, I enjoy
Good
watching
times.
you get angry.
But because of this cool relationship, they think it's called the Euler characteristic for 3D shapes that haven't got a hole in them. Because of this relationship, the Euler's characteristic, like that equation, is also the equation for a plane, for a flat surface.
Mm.
And so it means it doesn't matter what shapes people send in, if you hang them according to their coordinates for faces, vertices, and edges, they will all lie in one perfect, like it won't be flat, it's going to be on an angle, but they'll all be in one plane. They'll all line up perfectly across the middle of
Ah.
this thing.
You say shape,
I say shape.
but what does
You say shamali.
but what does that
Polyhedron.
Okay, so it's where each face is equal,
No, faces can be whatever you want.
but you can't have curvature?
You can have curvature and this thing would still work.
Yeah.
But
So if you do a sphere,
the word shape is too general.
Mm.
Polyhedron. So it's got to be faces that are joined together with edges
yeah.
and have corners.
Pizza shapes wouldn't work,
Pizza
even the
shapes wouldn't
hexagon
work,
ones,
barbecue shapes
because
wouldn't
there's a
work.
curved edge. Oh, for listeners, I should say pizza shapes is a bit like mini cheddars,
Oh,
but
yeah.
with different
Yeah.
shapes and flavors.
Tastes way better.
I don't just mean a circle,
No, a pizza shape. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a
a
wedge.
disc. But a pizza shape is technically 3D,
Right.
but with
It's
curved.
technically a hexagonal prism. That would work.
Yeah.
Now, the curvature is actually fine because the relationship of faces, edges, and vertices doesn't rely on there not being any curvature. So that would still
That's true.
work,
Yeah.
but people would get a little upset because, strictly speaking, a polyhedron shouldn't have that.
Mm.
But it would still work in this art installation. Would you like to see the shape I made?
Yes.
So I got on the live stream
Yes.
and I did not know what shape I was going to make.
Mhm.
I opened it up to the viewers.
Nice.
I did know what I was going to make it out of because I asked my friend Lisa to send me a bunch of acrylic offcuts from previous projects because she makes things for me.
Fun.
So actually that box over there is all the leftover acrylic
Ooh.
offcuts. And so I basically got in the live stream and said, hey, everyone, I'm going to build a shape for this project. It's called Polyplane. I've got all this acrylic. I had a drill and some cable ties. and you can make things up. No, they do it in inches, so I do apologize. Up to like 14 inches across. You can make these great,
Mhm.
crazy, and you can do obviously all sorts of numbers of faces, and you can do all sorts of crazy shapes. And we're like, right, what are we going to build? And we ended up, are you ready? With a tetrahedron.
So Matt is showing me a picture of what at first sight appears to be a three-sided pyramid.
It's a triangle-based pyramid. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. First of all, this is the simplest polyhedron you can make. So we were going to build a big shape,
Mm.
and we did a bunch of working out and what shapes we could do. But you have to reserve your spot on the plane because if someone has already built a shape that's going to go somewhere, it's going to clash.
Yeah.
The
Oh, so
different
you're limited
suggestions-
by the number of
Yeah. And then
Ah.
someone went, no one's done tetrahedron yet.
Oh,
I'm like,
great.
what? That's like the easiest one.
Yeah,
And then so we're like, let's do that. But we reserved it.
yeah.
And we knew you can build them up to like 14 inches across.
Mm.
But then we went to like, you got to register on the website. So we were registering it and we put in the size and it said no. And because it's right in the corner, the maximum size you can build it is 2 inches across. And so that's what we made.
Oh,
a comically
you've
small.
made a Christmas tree
We
ornament.
basically made a Christmas tree
Yeah.
ornament. Yeah. Yeah. Tetrahedron. So I packaged it up and sent it off. And as people are listening to this podcast, they are all installed in New Jersey. So if you wanted to make a shape,
Yeah,
you've got time. So here's the Polyplane website. You can see they've done like a 3D model of what they think it's going to look like.
Mhm.
And that's where my tetrahedron's going to
Cute.
be, down in the corner there.
Love it.
And if you want to participate, they show you where all the submissions are. So this is like the plane where all the shapes are going to be.
Mhm.
And they mark out shapes and how much space they're taking up. So that's me down there.
Great. So it has to be within that space.
Yeah. You claim one of the empty bits and you make the shape and you send it over.
Okay.
The only condition is it's got to be able to survive outside. It needs to be able to survive a little bit of like rain and stuff.
I want it at that point.
Okay, back for comedy reasons I don't fully understand. You want to have a 69 face shape. Some people are building them out there. Wow.
Someone might have already done it. I changed my mind.
There is a spot if you wanted to do an octagonal prism.
Yeah, I want to do that.
That would fit. That would
Yeah.
fit. Oh, okay, right. Okay, so maybe if we do it, it'll be in New Jersey if you want to go see it. Our first problem this episode was sent in by Lawrence on the problem posing page at problemsquared.com. And they say, hey, long time listener. That's what we call
Hey!
them. They wondered if they could help them with a musical problem. Okay. They say here, my daughter and I both love Bluey, the Australian kids TV show about an adorable canine family. And they equally love its theme tune. However, the timing of this song confuses me. What is the time signature for this song? Is it in 3 measures of a quarter and 1 measure of 5 quarters? How'd you pronounce that? 5/4?
Yeah.
Or is it in 1 measure of 1.25? I'm just simplifying down the fractions into decimals. Or is it actually 4 measures of... Well, you wouldn't write 4 and 4 as a fraction. You'd say 1. Anyway. With a counted pause. I don't understand. And now I know what you feel like.
Yeah. right?
Reading maths. You're like, this is meaningless. Help there. On behalf of me and Lawrence, what's going on? What's the time signature? What time signature is the Bluey theme song?
Okay. So you know how music in sheets is divided into bars?
Oh, yeah, they draw like a line.
Yeah. And the time signature is how a musician understands the rate at which notes has played.
Oh, okay. Like the not frequency, but like the tempo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, time signature
Right.
is also referring to how many notes are in that bar. And generally, music tends to be 4 to the bar.
So that's like saying if you go to a bar and you order some pizzas
hmm
and they say the maximum order here is 4 pizzas per bar.
Yeah.
That's
It wouldn't be 4 pizzas in a bar.
Oh.
So a whole pizza would take up the whole bar.
Oh.
So if it's 1/4, then for the whole bar, that's just 1 note, 1 pizza at
Right,
the
yep.
physical bar.
Right, yeah.
But if the measurement is 4/4, which is what most music tends to be
I've
in.
heard 4/4 mentioned.
Yeah. So 4/4 would be 4 quarters of pizza in a bar. Now it's the same amount of pizza,
You just splitting it up differently.
i.e. different notes.
Right.
So instead of the whole note just being the same note, you could have 4 notes in
Love
the
it.
same amount of time.
Yeah, they're smaller.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, right. So, and different songs have different ways of dividing up the bar.
Yes. And this is mainly so that when people are all playing the music together, they all play in time.
Right.
So as long as everyone is counting, so normally you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
So you're numbering the bits of the bar. Like by the time you get to 4, that's the whole bar.
Yes.
And you start
Because the
again.
bar is worth 4.
And then you start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the next bar.
Yeah.
And you don't count 0 through 3 because 0 has 2 syllables. And that would be harder to count.
Exactly.
Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
Because by the
I'm on
time
board.
that you get to 1.
Yeah. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Got it right.
So going back to the question, read out the part to me that you didn't understand.
So they say, what's the time signature for this song? Is it in 3 measures of 1/4 and 1 measure of 5/4, or is it actually 4 measures of 4/4?
Yeah. Now I think they mean 3 measures of 4/4.
Right. You think that's a musical typo?
I think so.
So they saying, is it 4/4, 4/4, 4/4, 5/4, or is it always 4/4?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's what we're here for.
That's right. So I think the next bit, we're going to have to play the Bluey theme.
That makes sense. I'm not familiar with the Bluey theme. So it's got weird pauses in it, and then they shout stuff, and then it carries on.
Yeah,
I can see why people are confused about the
time signature.
Yeah.
The reason for the pauses, if you're watching the show, is that in the intro, the family of blue heelers, which
Yep.
is the breed of dog, they're doing musical statues.
Ah.
So they're dancing.
And when the music stops, they got to stop.
Yeah, but Mum keeps dancing the first time, which is why they go,
Mum,
Mum!
because she's out.
Yeah,
Got it.
and then the music starts again. They all start dancing. The music stops. Dad is still dancing. Dad!
Dad.
Yeah. There are several different ways of counting the time signature for this.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So what Lawrence was saying originally was it 3 lots of what I believe they meant 4 out of 4,
yeah.
and then 5/4.
Is that to allow for the pause?
Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm going to play it again
And you're going to count over
with
it.
me counting over it.
Got it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, so the name of the characters on that 5th extra
Yeah.
beat.
But the pauses in that 5, they change slightly.
Ah,
So technically, that is correct. That is one way of counting it.
yep. That's our favorite type of correct.
Yes. However, you can also count it as 4/4 because the song does work as that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like,
Yep,
keep going
yep.
that way. And then you just allow for the fact that there is a pause.
Pause in the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are different terms for the pause. I think fermata is one of them, but that can also mean elongating notes and things like that. Again, not trained
I
in
feel like
music theology.
a lot of music and
music
art
theory.
is breaking the rules anyway.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I spoke to a composer. I spoke to a friend who studied classical music and did a master's in music or one of those
Sounds
things.
like a thing that exists.
But I've spoken to many, many people.
You spoke to a lot of people.
I've spoken to an opera singer.
Oh my goodness.
I've spoken to a lot of different people.
All in
about
relation
this.
to this, or you just showing
All
off?
in relation to this.
Right, good.
Genuinely, I spent about 2 to 3 hours on the phone yesterday to different people. And it was really interesting because they all sort of had different answers, but then some of them sort of worked. And then we realized that actually it's because time signatures are a bit like money in that they are a made up concept
Yeah.
to help us understand things, but they don't really exist.
No.
It's sort of there to help us along the way.
Basically, if you want to sing a song or write a song and you decide to ignore time signatures, the time signature police aren't going to kick the door down. Oi, keep it in 4/4, right? You can write whatever tune you want.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, there are many songs out there that are very popular where people cannot work out what the time signatures
go.
are because
Maybe there wasn't one.
Sufjan Stevens actually is a fantastic example. I don't know if you're familiar with their Illinois album.
I'm not.
It's a great album as well. I thoroughly enjoy it. I had no idea how much of Sufjan Stevens' music either changes time signature or just uses different time signatures for different parts so that it sounds like different songs being played at the same time.
Why not?
So you could count it that way with 3 measures of 4 and then a measure of 4/5.
Yep.
Or you could just do it as all of it as measures of 4
and just leave a beat. Yeah.
To allow for the musical statues thing. There's been a few different opinions about this online as well.
I bet
because
there have been.
the pauses are different rates. And there was someone who was trying to teach their kids when to yell out the name because the rate changes.
It changes each time.
So they don't know when can you yell it out?
That's
and
great.
They worked out that the pause starts and then gets incrementally less with each name.
It gets smaller.
So they worked out that with the first one, you've got a pause of about 3. So you go 1, 2, 3, mom.
Yep.
With dad, it's 1, 2, dad. Then banjo, 1, banjo. And then Bluey is just Bluey. Yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of parents out there who have had to listen to this theme song a lot of times and have therefore had a lot of intellectual time to throw at it.
Yeah.
To analyze every last aspect of what's going on.
Yeah. Of course, after I reached out to all of these professionals for their advice with this, I then found out that there's a YouTuber called Adam Neely, spelt Neely, who has been asked this question of what the time signature of Bluey is. And goes into depth on it a lot.
Bet.
So if you want to get a bit more information about it, I do recommend checking out Adam Neely's page. Adam Neely did then explain that because time signatures are artificial, that technically all music can be counted as 4/4.
Oh, I was just going to say.
Even music that is definitely not.
All music could just be counted up. Why loop? Just start counting and keep going. Number every single one.
Why? Yeah, sure. Why not?
What is this in? It's in 17,712.
Yeah.
Over 17,712.
I came across some interesting arguments for The Tallest Man with the Broadest Shoulders, which is a Sufjan Stevens song, which is a 5/4 beat.
Yep.
Then the next bar is a 6/4 beat.
Oh.
And the argument was whether it's 5 and 4 interchanging or just 11/8.
They just the whole song, make the whole thing one big fraction.
Yeah, that's right.
What I say. Well, Beck, you've done an incredible amount of research. You've answered it as satisfactorily as it could be.
Yeah,
but
my answer is yes to both of those things.
It is.
And do you know what? Because it's relative, sure, if they meant 1/4 for the first 4 measures, probably. If you count it weird.
I'm going to give you a ding, 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 ding. That's 4/4 dinging.
I have a whole ding.
I give you a D-I-N-G.
Thank you.
That's it. There you are.
Appreciate it. This next problem is for Matt.
Yep.
I don't know who it's from because it literally, it just says in our running order sheet, Matt's unusual problem.
Yes, it does. And I think you could argue I set this problem myself to be solved by us now.
Okay.
And it's a bit of an unusual problem, hence the name. It's going to start embarrassing and I fear may end dangerous. So let's see what happens. So my problem, I've got it here. Now, I apologize in advance. I'm going to have to show you my underwear, which I'm not wearing, but I've got 2 pairs of underwear. Do you want to actually, they're perfectly clean.
Yep.
They've never been worn. Can you just just to describe to the listeners what's wrong with my 2 pairs of underwear?
Yeah, so Matt has 2 pairs of, can I say the brand?
Yeah, it's going to be relevant.
These are the Bonds. Oh, right, I see. So these are Bonds trunks.
Yep.
2 pairs. They are very clean.
Like boxer short kind of
But
things.
they are, I see. They are joined.
They are joined.
At the crotch.
Yeah.
In a sort of, inverted, if I was to hold up one pair, the other pair's upside down. So almost like the number 8 with a security tag.
Yep.
It says warning. And then it's just got a little picture of something breaking.
Yeah. I think it's trying to say if you break this ink or something's going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
No one wants ink on their undercarriage.
no, well, exactly. So I bought it was a 2-pack that may not surprise you of underwear that I bought in Australia.
Mhm.
So I, as a matter of public record, only own a single type of sock. Because when I was at university in Australia many years ago, I was like, why buy more than one type of sock?
Mm.
Because if all your socks are identical, any 2 socks make a pair.
Yeah.
You can grab any 2 socks and you're away. And so to this day, I wear black Explorer socks.
Mm.
But it meant when I moved to the UK, which has now been most of the time since then,
Yeah.
I could only buy socks when I'm back in Australia.
Yes.
And so it became a thing whenever I was in Australia.
I have
I'd
a
go and buy some
similar
socks.
thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have no further questions. But at the same time, I don't know why, but I also locked in place that I just buy underwear at the same time. So I buy all my underwear. I buy the Bonds underwear in Australia because I was buying Explorer socks.
Yep.
And you buy them from the same place because it's
Yeah.
the same company.
Yeah.
So I was back in Australia recently. You were there.
Mhm.
We had a lot of fun.
Not
Recorded a
when
podcast.
you were
Not when I was
underpants
buying
shopping.
underwear shopping. No, right before I left, I was like, oh, I need to stock up on socks. So I went down to Big W
Yep.
at Karen Up Shopping Centre for people who know their shopping centres in Perth. Grabbed a bunch of socks. Thought I'll grab some underwear while I'm here.
Mhm.
Chucked it in the basket. Bought it. Left. Like flew out a day or two. I had a stump to deal with. Flew out.
Yep.
Got all the way back here. Unpacked it. Took the packaging off, and then realised, number one, Big W security tag. This is not expensive underwear. This is not
No.
like fancy.
But sometimes those things are things that get nicked the most.
I guess so.
And Bonds undies are quite sort of like famous in Australia. Really.
Yeah. They're
Like
they're
most
iconic.
people I know, when they're Australians, when they're back
Yeah.
in Australia, will buy Bonds brand
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I'm a Target girl myself. I don't
Nice.
go for I'm just home brand.
Fair enough. And different target to the US.
Yes.
Just while we're talking brands. And so I got back here, unpackaged them, and I was like, what on earth? And so now I've got choices
Mhm.
because, like I said, they're not particularly expensive.
Yeah.
So I could just cut my losses.
Yeah.
But I'd have to cut both of them to get this off.
Yeah.
And
Unless
so
you
I'd
want to
lose
keep
both
it on
pairs. Or I cut one off and
And
wear
then-
the other one with the
with
tag
the security
on. Yeah,
tag
exactly.
and a bit of material
Yeah,
from
no,
another
I
pen.
don't think I want to do that. But also, I don't want. I'm not a wasteful person. I feel like I don't want to buy something and then waste it.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I can salvage this, I should.
Mm.
And but they're out of the packaging. I could take them back to Australia, but I was like, there must be a way to get the security tag off. So Beck, do you know?
Also, how do you explain it when you bring it back?
When I
I
go
doubt
back-
you've still got the receipt.
No
So you're
receipt,
just going
no
in
packaging, like with like 2 pairs of
And so, could you remove
underwear
this security tag
bolted
for
together.
me?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, no. So happened to me once many years ago. I bought a coat.
Yeah.
And the coat had a tag on it. And there's 2 ways you can get a tag off.
Mm.
One category of ways is hit it with something like a hammer or something.
That's
Smash it.
genuinely my thing was, right, we could go out the
back, smash
grab
it with
a
something.
hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bam, done. Now, what I'm pretty sure these symbols mean, and we'll put a photo of these out, is that they've got some kind of ink or dye or something in there that's going to cause an absolute mess if you
Yeah.
smash it, to discourage that exact process.
Mm.
And my previous case with the jacket, I did that, but first of all, I froze it in liquid nitrogen. So when you
Oh,
smash it, you
bravo.
just brush all the dye off because
Yeah,
it's all
great.
frozen.
Mhm.
So I was doing shows at the Bloomsbury Theatre. It was
Mhm.
Christmas time, and I realized I had the tag on. And the chemistry building is directly opposite the Bloomsbury Theatre in London.
Yes.
So I was like, Andrea, you got any liquid nitrogen? He's like, come on over. And we froze that bit of my jacket in liquid nitrogen, smashed it with the bottom of a retort stand, which is like a big chunky bit of metal.
Yep.
Smashed everywhere.
Very scientific.
Brushed off the ink before it started to melt. Job done.
Great.
So that's an option. But we're in Godalming, and I haven't got liquid nitrogen.
Oh.
The
It's
other
disappointing.
category of ways of doing it is to recreate the way they do it in the shop.
They've got like a machine thing, don't they?
But what does the machine do?
Oh, is it a magnet one?
I think it's a magnet
Some
one.
of them are magnet ones, and I feel like some of them are just things that unclip it.
Well, Beck, I don't know what sort this is,
Mm.
but I have a magnet.
All right, show off.
So I thought we would give it a go with a magnet and see if it is a magnet one, if it pops off. And if it doesn't pop off, we'll have to share photos of it and get some suggestions from our listeners on how I'm going to get this off my pants.
Yeah, we'll try and get Matt's pants to pop off.
That's not what we're going to call this project.
I mean, I've just done a very quick look online.
Oh, yeah. What have you found?
One method is to use rubber bands.
Rubber bands.
Place the ink cartridge of the tag face down.
Right.
Yeah, basically what it's suggesting is wrapping a rubber band around it to help reduce the speed at which the ink spreads
okay. So
when
you're
you pry it
slowing down.
apart. Yeah.
It's still spurting ink everywhere.
Yeah.
But not as fast as it would be otherwise. They're real helpful. Real good.
Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. So it says the rubber band should place pressure around the pin, which loosens it.
No.
So whatever the thing is, the machine that goes in and squeezes
does
it
a thing? Yeah.
to undo
Okay.
it.
I feel like if it was easy to get off, it defeats the point of.
If
of
it's a
having
magnet
it.
one, find a high-powered magnet, which you say you have.
Well, Beck.
Is it
I
with you
got
now?
Yep. Now, some ground rules before I get this magnet out.
Mhm.
I am scared of this magnet. It is a terrifying magnet.
Is it going to give us like a MRI?
Don't put it near a laptop or a phone.
Okay.
Don't be careful. Magnetic objects will stick to it at speed.
Okay.
It's the kind of magnet where if you owned 2 of them, it could cause serious injury by crushing fingers.
Wow.
So you have to be super careful if you have 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have 2 of them.
Oh, no.
And someone I gave this talk to previously didn't listen very closely. They had one underneath a rug and one on top of the rug.
Oh.
And they were making the one on the top of the rug race around by moving the one
Yeah.
underneath. But then they took it off the end.
Mhm.
And even that little distance, the acceleration where they clip together, one of them smashed into shards.
Oof.
Just because it goes so fast, so quickly. So I've gotten rid of the old one.
That's a terrifying magnet.
I got one left. The safer way to carry them is in lots of padding so nothing can get close to them.
Yeah.
So it's in the canvas bag over there.
Oh, I'm glad you pointed that out where I could have easily chucked
Just
my
put
stuff.
your laptop down. Let me go.
Thanks. I just love the idea of you walking around with this bag and like women's jewelry flying off.
Okay, I'm moving my laptop.
Babies, pewter dummies.
Yes,
I don't know
now.
what.
Okay, do you want to pop your laptop elsewhere?
As far away as possible.
Put
Yes,
your
I do.
phone there. So,
Oh,
try and move it.
magnet
I
stuck
just
to the
moved
table.
it and it's just stuck to the table.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Careful.
that is quite terrifying.
Yeah. It's what's terrifying about it is 99% of the time it's a not very heavy bit of metal.
Yeah.
But then 1% of the time it's got
It gets very heavy.
violent mind of its own.
Yeah.
There must be a bolt or something under the table there. Okay, I got the magnet.
Mhm.
I'm going to try it on the pin side, we think, first. I'm imagining it's suddenly just going to fly apart and the day is solved. Okay. Oh, it's stuck to it. Definitely metal in there. It's sticking to the magnet. But I just figured they kind of push it on a metal thing and then one end kind of comes loose. No.
I think it's hammer time.
Are we going to go liquid nitrogen? Is that what's going to happen here?
Or just.
just whack it with a hammer.
I mean, they're underpants.
And an elastic band.
What do you care if they're a little bit dyed?
That's a good point. We have 2 options here, Beck. We can either just go hit it with a hammer now.
I mean, you know I'm off for that.
I know. Or we can open it up. We can put some photos online and get people to suggest other ways of getting it open.
Or we just treat it as art.
Or this is it now. It's just. Oh, you know what? I almost don't want to admit defeat by just hitting it with a hammer because we'll always have hit it with a hammer.
Yeah. I mean, we can freeze it in a freezer rather than.
The liquid nitrogen option.
Yeah.
I guess that would work.
Yeah.
That's the fun.
You just got to wait for longer.
I don't know what the melting point of ink is.
Yeah. I think just wear them as is.
Oh, wear them as is, and just sew them together.
Yeah.
For comfort. And then,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, fine. Or wear them as is.
Oh, you know what everyone's going to
Oh, no, they are. Why would we even have that as an option? So that's my problem. It's still an ongoing problem, it turns out. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Hey.
That's a pants joke. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. It was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So right now that is no ding.
No ding.
No
No.
ding for your
No ding in.
I was gonna say for your
my undies.
dingling. That is an undiesing. Undies.
Undies.
Because there's no
It's an unding thing.
Mm.
This has just been disappointment after disappointment. Get ready for. Oh. Any other business?
Ah,
I know.
that's handy.
What are the chances? So, First up, Beck, you set a peanut squared
Yes.
2 episodes ago.
Yes. For any new listeners, that is a hamster-based problem.
Yep.
For any young listeners or people with
young humans around.
or people who know young humans who might want to do a simpler problem.
Got it.
Mm.
Yes.
So the question was, if Peanut has 5 grams of pellets a day.
Yep.
And a dwarf hamster lives on average for about 2 years.
Exactly.
How many grams of pellets would Peanut need in his whole lifetime? And we posed that. We've had an answer come in.
Yeah.
From long-time listener.
Long-time listener.
And long-time answerer.
Yeah.
Yep, we've got Dexter.
Got Dexter.
We always enjoy Dexter's answers because Dexter goes above and beyond.
Yes. And shows they're working out.
Yes.
We appreciate.
So Dexter, this is the way that I would do it traditionally.
Yep.
Which is to go 5 grams.
Yep.
Times 365 days a
Yep.
year, times 2
Yeah.
for 2 years, is 3,650 grams.
Yep.
And then has written, power up! 2024 is a leap year. So add another 5 grams.
There you go. Don't forget that leap year.
So in total, it's 3,655 grams, or 1, 2, 3 kilos, 0.655.
Yes. In fact, Dexter's given it in several different units involving milligrams.
Yeah. And the current bag that I have for Peanut is only 750 grams.
Oh.
So
you're going to need 5 of them.
Yep.
Now, I will say Dexter then wrote pi is greater than tau, which I think is just Dexter trying to appeal to the judges. They've also put their Casio calculator in the shot. I don't know if that's intentional.
Oh, definitely. Must be.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And then Dexter said, by Dexter, aged 10 and then 48 over 365, which is a viable time signature, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Equals 10.1314168378. And has also added, I was 7 when you started this. Thanks for making us feel old, Dexter.
How old? Wow. We've been doing this for years.
I know.
That's why we're now so good at it. Up next in year. And yet we're not running out of ways to introduce the show.
We've also had an answer from, I didn't see this one. I've only just scrolled down.
Oh, wow. So someone said, James Morgan says, my daughter asked me to send you this and it's a page of working out. So how have they done it? They well, I haven't got that far down. Oh, in watermelons. So they did it the way I would do it. So I did 365 plus 366.
Yep.
And then multiply that up by 0.005. I went straight to kilos.
Okay, of course you did.
Yeah, thank you. There you go. 3,655 grams of food. And then in watermelons. Well done, Emily.
Thank you very much, Dexter. And thank you very much, Emily. And of course, there may be other answers from other people.
Oh, yes.
By the time this episode comes out, apologies if we've not read it out. Yes, thank you for sending it in. It's just because of the time of recording.
Yeah. And there are no prizes? Well, not for that. But I do have some prizes, unrelated. Do you remember? Remember we had the trebuchet?
Yes.
With the live show, we wanted to trebuchet a t-shirt into the audience because we thought it was very funny.
Literally launched the t-shirt.
Bingo. I ordered a bunch of t-shirts because people normally have like a t-shirt cannon and we have a t-shirt trebuchet.
Yeah.
Very funny. T-shirts didn't make it in time.
No.
So we gave away I think we gave away like my t-shirt.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I drew on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got some from the festival and all that jazz. But the t-shirts did later show up.
Yes.
And I put some of them into my normal wardrobe circulation.
Yeah.
In fact, I was wearing a t-shirt yesterday.
Yeah, me too. I wear mine quite a lot.
There you go. However, I have both more t-shirts than I can plausibly add to my wardrobe without looking a little self-obsessed. And they're in different sizes that I'm not sure if I'm going to be in the near future. So that was the bag that had the magnet in it. I wrapped it up for safety.
So they've all been magnetized.
They've all been magnetized.
Or demagnetized. I can't remember.
So here's the thing. We have a range of t-shirts and they're in different sizes and they're different types. So what I thought we could do, because we've got one here that says, name another podcast who launches their merchandise via a trebuchet. Oh, wait. Let's wait.
W-E-A.
Like a
E-I-G-H-T.
mass experiencing a force.
Yeah.
And they're in different colors. Some are in magenta and some are in blue.
I would say that's maroon.
Or maroon.
Maroon. I think they say maroon here.
Do they say maroon?
Australia's the only country that says maroon.
What?
Yeah.
That's a new bit of data. That's funny.
Which is
data
why
here. Yeah.
The band
The band.
Maroon 5 is Maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Maroon 5?
Yeah.
But now they sound ridiculous. Oh, wow. I didn't know. I've been living here for like 17 years and I didn't know that.
Everyone
So,
just thinks that you're a weirdo.
if I said maroon, I sound like a real maroonon. Is that how they pronounce moron here, apparently?
Yeah.
Right. So,
Maroon.
here's what I propose. And correct me if you've got a better idea. Everyone can enter once.
Mhm.
You got to name the slogan you want,
Okay.
name the color you want,
Yep.
name the size you want, and the ones that we happen to have, the first people who match get them.
Oh, nice.
How's that? That works, right?
Yep.
And if there's no exact matches, closest match.
And is this via Twitter or the problem posing page?
I'll make a web form. There'll be a web form and we'll tweet it and we'll put it in the show notes. It'll be around.
So via the specific link that is in the show
Yes,
notes.
there will be a specific, because then I'm going to have drop-down menus for all the, otherwise people put in comedy answers and I spend half a day filtering out joke answers. So
Yeah, that's
there's
true.
going to be no freedom. There'll be
Great.
some drop-down menus. And you know what? I'll have a whole separate box, which is, if you need to be funny, please do it in this box.
I was going to say, I think it should be that anyone who sends in a joke answer is disqualified.
Yeah, but I've still got to go through the process of disqualifying. Anyway. That's how we're going to do this.
Mhm.
There is a wild card, though.
Oh.
We've also got the hat from New York.
Oh, okay. So when we were in New York, we did a problem, which was to work out how long a New York minute was.
Yep.
And Matt and I decided that meant recreating
scenes from New York Minute.
from a terrible Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen film.
Yeah.
And there was one bit where she's wearing a red sort of beret cap type thing.
Yeah.
And we managed to
found
find
one.
one and bought
Miraculously while
it.
walking
And
around New
funnily
York.
enough, neither of us are keen to keep it.
No. So that's also in the mix.
So can people just say red
Red hat's
red
an
hat
option.
from New York?
But if you say red hat and you're not the first person who said red hat,
Oh, and you can't enter again.
you're throwing your vote away and you can't enter again.
Oh.
So I'm just saying that's what's going on there. That's the competition.
Great.
And I will let you put your postal address in on the form,
Yeah.
so I don't have to chase people afterwards.
Yep.
But I will delete all the ones who don't win straight away.
Yep.
So just so you know, and I won't even say who's won. It'll just show up in the post one day.
Yeah.
Send us a photo. If something shows up in the post.
Some people do prizes because they're like, oh, this is a way of collecting
Oh, it
data.
really engage.
and all this.
Yeah.
But you're doing it because this is taking up space in your house and you don't need them. Yeah.
Final bit of any other business? Well, we're going to pass to our future selves who will have had made a shape.
Hello everybody, this is producer Lauren speaking. This is the audio I got from Matt and Beck, who are probably making a shape. If you want to see that shape, you can find it on social media at A Problem Squared.
We have the first Australia. She says, we prod you.
we prod you.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We value all of our listeners. Short-time listeners, long-time listeners, medium-length listeners. You're all valuable to us. And we appreciate you all equally, except our Patreon supporters who are extra equally appreciated because they fund this whole thing. You may have noticed no ads, no sponsorship. We do it because we enjoy hanging out, but we got bills to pay. So thank you very much, everyone on Patreon. And we pick 3 names completely at random from Patreon to thank every single time, which this episode include
Ian Roberts. Or Ian Roberts.
Rob Leferts. But I'm going to do Rube Leferts.
Lefferts.
Lefferts.
Josiah Douglas. Or Josiah Dowglaze.
I like Josiah. Josiah.
Josiah!
Thank you to them and everyone else who is. This has been A Problem Squared. I've been Matt Parker. I've been joined, of course, by Beck Hale. And finally, 1 extra dice. 5 dice.
Ooh.
I'd like to thank our producer, Lauren Armstrong Carter.
That's
There you
lucky.
go. Yeah. What are the chances?
Imagine if it was Dwayne the Jock Ronson
That would have been
producing.
I mean, they were waiting for their last chance to get involved. No deal.
Sorry,
no dice,
Jock.
some would say.
Ah.
No dice. Okay, Beck. On a Saturday morning, can you be found? ...
It's not a question. It's you can be found.
You can be found. It's a threat.
It's true.
From the Muppets.
I can be
You can be
found on a
found.
Saturday morning.
But when the people do find you, inevitably, are you reading the newspaper?
No.
Playing an instrument?
Nah.
Hungover?
Used to be.
Used to be. No, you've turned over a new leaf. Cracking
for
jokes.
A temporary amount of time.
Yeah, well, cracking jokes.
On a Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Beck don't joke for free. Working. That's the same as cracking jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not helping. Hanging out with a friend. A brave friend. Watching TV. Sleeping.
Or
Eating.
ooh. Those are good questions.
Saturday morning. Anytime before noon, I guess. Ooh.
I mean, technically I'm sleeping every morning.
That's
until
true.
a certain point.
Some of the morning is asleep.
Yeah. Arguably most of the morning.
Yeah, more than half.
Yeah. I do sometimes do some work.
I definitely weekends have no meaning for me,
No,
which I'm
me
not
either.
saying is a good work-life balance, but we
No.
all have our routines that work for us.
It's also tricky when your work. Sometimes what you enjoy is your work.
Yeah, this is when a lot of my career is me finding ways to monetize what I'd be doing anyway.
Yeah. Like the first person I called with the Bluey problem was one of my oldest mates.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And she and I had a great chat up.
Yeah,
Chat up?
exactly.
Catch up.
What are we doing now? Are we working? Are we cracking jokes? Are we hanging out with a friend? You know, we go.
I'm just going to go sleeping.
That's a good one. I wouldn't be hanging out
But
with a friend.
technically,
Cracking jokes, eating, working.
like I do want to say cracking jokes.
Saturday morning.
I
I don't
want
think
to say
I'd
that,
work
but
on
yeah,
the
Saturday morning.
I think sleeping.
Mm,
Yeah, we're both sleeping.
yeah.
Sleeping as well. So three-way sleeping. You can do that while sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there was the Saturday before I decided I needed to stop drinking for a while.
Yep.
I was violently vomiting from drinking too much the night before.
Really?
First time in a long time.
Wow.
Do not recommend. I was very hungover, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that is normally
That's
me.
not normal.
No.
It's the exception
Yeah.
because you're a good role model.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't kids.
That was Beck cracking a joke, everyone.